I'm stranded at sea, on the last stride. It's times like these I wish Dad was alive. All of these changes, fine. I still have my hands and the Lord by my side. So long, stranded at sea, a fatherless child. Waves high as a tree, hurricane wild. I wish Dad was alive, calm to flood tide, and the Lord by my side. The Lord by my side. The Lord is by my side. Welcome back to Generations, Black Memories of Nova Scotia, where we're going across the province learning firsthand from folks who grew up in the Black community. Asking things like, what was it like? What used to be where? What were the traditions? This is Winnie Brown. Getting to know each other, we found out we're related. She's doing great work in the community. Her son Josh and I actually met behind bars, and it's real good to see where we're both at now. Do the clap?
Yeah.
Scene one, take one. We got Winnie, we got Josh here, and we're at the Tribe Network. What I'd like to start with, I'm gonna start with me.
Okay.
I'm a Leo, so I gotta go first. I remember growing up and not truly having like a serious sense of purpose. Mm-hmm. I didn't grow up in a church, right? I did try to go to church. My aunts would take me, and like I was young too, right? Because we didn't know Spryfield, and like just going, like she would take me from Spryfield because and we're not really related. It's just like, Mom, we grew up together. That's your
okay,
aunt,
yeah.
I mean? And I tried it, and I was like, and it was a long church service. It was like from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It was long. I was not feeling it. I was young. I wanted to be outside. I'm an outdoors person, right? Mm-hmm. So I get kicked out of church. Not on some mischievous. Actually, it was pretty mischievous.
He said he got kicked out of church.
I did.
Nobody get kicked out of church.
I did though. Didn't grow up with a serious church background. Mm-hmm. So I was really forced to go through things and really figure that stuff out. Mm-hmm. And when I found I had no father figure either. Yeah. So I didn't have that guidance. I did have my mother was with somebody. His name's Gerald Johnson. Loved Gerald Johnson. I still call him stepdad to this day. And it wasn't until I truly got to start to know my family history, not necessarily family history, but more genealogy. Mm-hmm. Where I started getting a more sense of purpose. Like when my daughter was born, Georgina, I was like, okay, I grew up not really knowing what anything was, so I'm gonna do all that work to make sure that she knows and Jamel knows.
Right.
The sippy bags? How much were the sippy bags back then? Do you remember?
Oh, God, 10 cents?
They were a quarter for us.
Because remember we used to buy the juju, the black juju
yes.
prices? I remember, oh my God, I remember candy was 2 cents.
The penny candies.
We used to go to the Salvation Army a lot over on Portland Street. We used to call it the Mission. And I tell you, after a while, I just got so used to going there and picking up clothes, I would try to go in and find the clothes that I would see my friends wearing at school, so that, you know, I would, kind of be up with the Joneses, like, and even now, you go on Portland Street, that place is gone. You know, it just shows you that no matter what, like, my dad, he worked for the Coast Guard most of his life. So now when you retired and he got into his own cleaning business, remember he used to make us all go clean and stuff with him? Oh my God, Dad, them used to make us clean. Me and my children, Dustin, working. I'm telling you.
Yep, come on, you guys come to work with me.
Yep, you're right.
It taught good work ethic.
Yeah, it did.
You know, young, and that was extremely important.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially you see the generation now, man, they're in their bedroom and the door's shut and you don't see them till tomorrow for school.
It's almost like they don't believe that our generation has a work ethic. But it's because it was taught to us. Like, my work ethic was taught to me from my mom, like, working hard.
You have to.
2, 3 jobs. Like, Mom, how come you're not home? Because I got to feed you guys. And what gave me the work ethic.
And you know something else I always appreciate my mother for, because there's times I see my mother give us food and she go without. Seriously, I just say, like, Mom, and I mean, Josh used to do that too. Say, here, Nanny, you can have some of my food. And then one of the other kids would say, here, you can have some of my food. You know what I mean? And then she'll get a full plate.
Mind you, we're talking about canned goods. Me and my brothers, 3 of us, split 1 canned good. Things like that. And I mean, there's a can of ravioli and there's a can of green peas. And literally, you take them both.
Yep. Now, at my age, and I look back, I know Mom did the best. I know she did because I watched her. And I watched how sometimes she had to leave me and Kirky home so that, my mother's afraid of heights. But my mother would walk that bridge to get to Northwood, because you always didn't have money all the time, and so you always couldn't drive, you know what I mean? It's only from the Bean over across the bridge. As you can see, our parents did whatever they had to do, 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. Like, that's why, like, now I look at them and they're sitting back in their old age, like, just relax. You know what I mean? Because you guys did all that, because we got to be here for our kids. You know what I mean?
I developed a great respect watching my mother struggle, but also my grandmother's hustle, you know what I mean? So I developed a great respect for all women, but specifically those strong Black women.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So you mentioned that you grew up on, it was
Queen Street.
Queen Street.
Wow. So we can kind of, like, if you want to go up here, come back down around, you can go up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up on Ochterlony first.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll come back around here.
All right, cool.
But, I mean, I think I might have already asked this, Winnie, but, like, was there a lot of Black families that lived on Pine Street at the time? Or
Queen Street? No. It was the Browns, us, the Johnsons, the Garrows, because there was probably maybe about 8 Black people that went to the school.
Out of the whole school?
Out of the whole school. We didn't have a lot of Black people that grew up down here. Moving from down here and going to Jellybean Square, that was like kind of like a culture shock. It was a lot. We had a lot of Black people up in the square back in them times, right? So, and a lot of them, they were my family, right? So you had the Collies, the Hellisos.
The Hellisos?
You know the Hellisos?
What?
Yeah, don't kill me.
Who are the Hellisos?
Oh my goodness.
Talk to me.
Oh,
What?
you are comico. You better stop it.
I've never heard of that last name.
So, because their dad was white.
Okay.
So that's where that comes, but really, they're Brookses. I'm gonna tell you, this brick place there, that used to be my daycare. That used to be the door that we used to go in to go to daycare. This place right here at the corner, this used to be our store, our little 5-cent little store.
That's where you get all the candies?
Yeah, like, right. The Riatas, look, they still have their tailor shop. Them guys been here since Christ's call. This used to be the Belmont Hotel. That used to be the Belmont Hotel. The Legion still stands. And this used to be that gray place right here. This was our drugstore.
Where are we heading to next?
Where do you want to go to next?
Well, I would love to, like, briefly just go around the Bean right quick.
Okay, let's go up to the Bean.
Okay, let me get all these down.
All right. one thing I will say for these guys, they're very protective over their community. You see how everybody came outside? Because we're strangers coming in their stuff. Right. They only did that because we're strangers. They know you, they know me. Okay, you know? Somebody thought something totally different.
That's what I like to see.
Straight up, yeah.
That's community to me, right?
Yeah. This was a big baseball field. And every summer, some of the men with the kids in the community would get together and go have a baseball game. That's when I said sometimes I would see my dad around and he would be involved in this. Wow, man, I didn't even know he could do that stuff. But this here, seeing this stuff here, breaks my heart. Literally breaks my heart because I can't believe it. Like we used to play in that graveyard right there, hide and seek sometimes, you know what I mean? That was one of the things we used to do down here. I used to love doing that. We would do that and try to get our mothers and stuff to be making like, you know, stuff.
Oh yeah, that was something my grandmother used to do too.
Because I didn't know how to do it. But yeah, this is like, wow, man. Andrea, come here. Me and her, come here for a minute. Come here. Andrea, come here.
Oh my
what
God,
out there you know?
Yeah,
my God,
yeah.
Lord forgive me. But yeah, this
love
used
this
to be
area.
that.
It was really good back in the day.
I know.
And we used to have to clean up our neighborhood, but
That's
now
what
they
I
don't.
told them. This stuff never looked
Yeah,
like
they
this.
would have all kinds of
we
stuff
wouldn't
for
even
us to be
understand
able
what
to
a needle.
No, this is so dirty.
Man, we
It's
wouldn't
so
know that
dirty.
stuff, man. What happened to the tall wall that everybody had? Remember?
Yeah, they took them out. I don't know. I don't know, but they redid everything, right? Even on the insides, they've done some things just to update, like the heaters and stuff, the furnaces and stuff. So,
really,
but other than that, you know, they're just making it look good.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Central.
I guess
the insides are still as bad as they were back in the day with mice and everything else running around.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a cat that catches everything. So everyone that I grew up and lived in here has been haunted.
Go on over here.
Hello, Miss Williams. What's up, Tyrone? But yeah, so yeah, this neighborhood has lots of memories. I've been here since I was 13, and I'm still here with my kids. So,
what would you say your greatest memory growing up here is for you?
All the kids hanging out and playing like normal children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to play hide and seek all
the time, every night. Our parents would be out here screaming for us, and we'd be out here
and we had to be in the house I had to be in the house as soon as the street lights came on.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the greatest. And then
even with all the bullshit and stuff, you know what I mean? I just get bullied a lot.
Oh, same here. Same here.
Oh,
yeah, right. You know
man.
what I mean? The good kids are the ones that get bullied.
Remember when they used to call me Darth Vader? Bloodshot eyes, scaly skin.
Yeah, they were horrible back then.
I know.
Yeah.
Pull on my dresses and pull them down. Right? Oh, man.
But yeah, we still all play together.
Yes,
we'd all play. Yeah, we had lots of good fun here.
Man.
And back then, the reason why it's called Jellybean is because all houses were different colors.
Yeah, so yellow and green.
Yeah, yellow, green, and red. Remember? Yeah, it was red.
So, I would, like, was that sense of family, like genealogy, like family history instilled in your family?
Not really. I just kind of grew up knowing kind of who my family was. So, growing up in Dartmouth, whatever, right, is not the same as, you know, coming from East Preston, or my family coming from East Preston, I should say. And then growing up in Dartmouth, was like, going to East Preston was like a culture shock for me. Greenbelt School was the school that I used to go to from 1 to 6. And then I went to Buy High, because finally we transitioned up to Jellybean Square. Back then we used to call it the B, not Jellybean, right?
Yeah.
And then transitioned, have to go to East Preston to see that they didn't have running water. They didn't have toilets. The roads were dirt roads. So I was like, that was like really a big culture shock. And to watch my grandmother, God rest her soul, every summer she gets up and we had to learn to go and pick, you know, the big white buckets, the little, you know, the white buckets that you have, you lug your water in.
10-gallon buckets?
Yeah. So we had to learn to fill those up, clean with blueberries, because Mama used to always go into town and sell her stuff, right? Even in the wintertime, we had to go into the woods and break down the leaves, because she used to make wreaths. So you had to know how to do that stuff. If you picked up, if she looked at your bucket of blueberries, and it had dirty berries in it, so you wonder what's dirty berries. Anything that's from New Orleans. Growing up, like, it's so different than kids today. We weren't allowed to talk until we were spoken to. We weren't allowed to sit around big people when they were having conversations because that was very frowned upon because kids are not supposed to hear what people are going through. Deity, which was my granddad, right?
You say deity?
Deity, yeah, deity.
You know what? It's interesting because like Liverpool, that's how they say deity.
Yeah,
like
so
did, read, you know what I mean? Like it's interesting.
Yeah, so we used to call him deity. We never used to say granddaddy, deity, right? So much is different. The Graham Creighton School has been done over maybe 3 or 4 times, but it still has the same structure from when I went to school.
Right.
Now they have an elevator and they didn't before, but the landmark is still sitting there in Cherry Brook.
Right.
Bell Park School, where my kids used to go as little kids to, you know, that still sits there. I lost my landmark from Greenville School. Those things aren't there. I drive around there and I'm looking, wow.
So Greenville School, like now listen, I don't even know of Greenville School. Can you tell me about Greenville School? Where was it located? Where was it at?
Okay, so Greenville School was at the end of Queen Street in Dartmouth. So it sits at the very end. Right now it's a condo. It's a condo building. Beside it used to be the Bowl-O-Rama. Used to have a Bowl-O-Rama there. I'll never forget that as long as I live. The Bowl-O-Rama's gone. Even now when I look and I'm like, wow, man, I remember I used to go through that back door down there because all the kids from 1 to 3 had to be on the bottom floor and the 4 and 5s and 6s was up on the top floor. Even though it's part of my history, it's not. It's like, it's gone. Like those things I have to always remember because those landmarks, even though they still stand, that part of my history, even though I'll keep it in my mind, that's gone because so much has changed.
So much has changed, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I cut you off somewheres.
We were talking, I think, about the,
The food bank.
Yeah, what happened to you at the food bank?
You see all these other kids with even school bags, lunch bags, sandwiches packaged, dessert, this, that. But I know that the reason I don't have these things is because my family's poverty stricken. And people used to make fun and say, oh, you don't have clean clothes, oh, you don't have good food. And so going to the food bank for me, I developed insecurities from things like that, not having what I seen other kids have. And I thought that, you know, there was an issue, but I later learned that it's not, it wasn't an issue, right? Just because of psychologically, I didn't understand as a kid, right? And nobody told me, you know what I mean? Nobody knew. We didn't know how to communicate. These are fields that in our communities in Nova Scotia that we don't even explore it because we don't know nothing about it. And then when you bring up the word, therapy or psychology in our communities, people think you're high on drugs.
Stop acting white.
Yeah.
There was, I don't want to call it a tradition, but there used to be like a lot of, like it was a tradition of people from East Preston going to the market.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, I remember that. That was right on Market Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they used to take like the ox down there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So was there a lot of people that would go to the market, or was it like a certain like a certain family?
Market used to be full.
The market used to be full.
So I mean, if you're traveling like on ox and like horse and carriage to the market, like what time would you guys have to get up?
Oh, no, they did about 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning
Why?
to get there.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, because
My
the distance. Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
Was there something that had to like you had to like heat bricks up like to kind of keep warm or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, they have like bricks, hot bricks racked up and bragging 9 to their feet, you know, and You know them old time irons?
Yeah.
They had them wrapped up ain't their feet to keep on.
Mr. Brown, I was wondering, like, when you were younger, like, what were some of the sayings, like some of the traditions or like things that your parents would say to you when you were younger that kind of stuck with you as you grew older?
They'd always tell me not to get in trouble and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I get a lot of beating for doing bad things, so, you know. But that still never kept me with a trouble, you know, but I learned the hard way.
Thank God. I thank God for those days.
Yes,
I thank God for those days. Because your parents really taught you something. I'm telling you. Yeah.
The older people from the community always try to instill in their children, you know, a sense of like independence, but you know, and always working. And, you know, because number one, it kept you out of trouble, no idle time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, kids that always get in trouble, they're frowned on, and it reflects back on the family.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think a friend of mine actually mentioned this. There's such a war on the youth.
Yeah.
In terms of like, you know, what they're being shown, like content-wise.
Yeah.
There's so much things that they have access to. They don't necessarily have the, not the ability, but like that their elder telling them the things that they need to learn.
Yeah.
They're not listening to it.
No.
Josh, we can't do that. Josh, guess what? Josh, remember the brook that went down there? So there was an old man that used to live up here named George Saunders. Oh man, he used to run his electricity wherever he can get electricity. He used to live in the dark, honest to God. Guess what? We have a brook down here. This is how George used to come and get his water. Remember? Yeah. Honest to God.
There's an old stream in here.
There's an old stream right
the
here.
The guy up here used to come with his buckets and fill them up,
Take
walk
home.
back home. Lived over here, no electricity,
No electricity,
stuff like that.
no nothing.
I got one more question for y'all. And just so we can say it so we have it on camera. Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Joshua Caleb Brown, aka Guru Millions. Love, you know, Guru is love. From old home, East Side, Scotia 902. Mad love and respect for all Scotians. And that's from me to you.
And Winnie, what's your name? Who are you?
I am Winnie Brown, CEO and founder of Empowerment for Hope. And this is my community where I grew up at.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
You good?
A lot of our grandparents' generation and their parents' generation were taught ways when we look back at it now probably weren't the best. But it's what they had, and it's what they knew. I think our generations are doing a lot to change those ways and learning how to love and teach differently. And whether you're religious or not, faith plays a huge role in all of our lives. And it's one of the many things we all have in common. Until next time.